We're all looking for the same thing, right? A happy, successful life. But what does that really mean? Today, we're going to explore the qualities that build the foundation for true contentment. And, well, the answers might surprise you.
So if you're on that path, trying to find a deeper sense of peace, a real, lasting contentment, then you're in the right place. We're not talking about quick fixes here, but about really understanding what builds a fulfilling life from the inside out.
All right, let's dive right in. And to do that, we first have to challenge something that most of us just kind of take for granted. We need to ask ourselves, what does it truly mean to be successful?
We're often told, right, that success means having a fancy degree or a long list of qualifications. But is that really the whole story? I mean, think about it. So many of the most creative, fulfilled, and truly successful people we admire built their lives on something else entirely.
And here's the beautiful part. You don't need a PhD or some expert to figure this out. The answers, they're actually already inside you, inside all of us. When we allow our minds to become calm and still, we can tap into this incredible wisdom that comes directly from our own lived experiences.
Okay, so if success isn't just about what's on your resume, then what is the real foundation of a successful person? Let's talk about the 5 core pillars that really hold up a meaningful and fulfilling life.
So let's get right to it. If it isn't about the external achievements, what are the qualities that actually build that unshakable foundation? What are the internal traits that truly matter?
All right, here they are, the 5 pillars. First up is honesty, being true, not just to others, but to yourself. Then there's responsibility, really owning your actions and their consequences. Third, humility, which is the quiet strength of knowing you don't know everything. Fourth, trustworthiness, simply being someone people can count on. And finally, number 5, patience, the ability to wait, to endure, and to persevere. These aren't just nice words, they're the absolute building blocks for everything that matters. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Cultivating these qualities sounds great, but it's hard, right? It's especially hard when our whole modern approach to solving problems can actually lead us astray. We often fall into what I call the symptom trap, and that's why so many of our fixes feel, well, temporary. Just look at this. It shows 2 totally different ways of thinking. On one side, you have a common approach today that's very reactive. It focuses on the symptom, with this philosophy of just treat where it hurts. On the other side, there's a more timeless, ancient wisdom. It's proactive. It's all about finding and dealing with the root cause, sometimes before a problem even shows up.
Let me give you a powerful real-world example of this. Barings Bank. This institution was over 200 years old, an absolute legacy. But in 1995, the whole thing just collapsed. And why? Because of the actions of one single employee. You see, the bank was so focused on managing its external image, but it completely ignored the character of its people. A lack of honesty, a lack of responsibility, the root cause, brought the entire thing down.
It really is like this, cutting out a cancerous tumor. Yeah, it removes the immediate problem, the symptom. But if you don't change the lifestyle, the habits, the stress, the things that cause the cancer in the first place, well, you know what happens. The disease is probably going to pop up somewhere else down the line.
So this leads us to a much wiser way of doing things. It's about solving problems from the root. It's a huge shift, really. It means moving from constantly running around putting out fires to making sure those fires don't even start in the first place.
Let me give you a super simple analogy to make this crystal clear. Imagine your house is full of flies. Now, you might think the flies are the problem, but they're not. They're just a symptom. The real problem is the garbage that's attracting them.
So let's play this out. You've got a bag of garbage in your kitchen, and it's attracting flies. So what do? You grab a can of bug spray and psh, you kill the flies. Great, problem solved. Or is it? A few minutes later, they're back. Why? Because you only dealt with the symptom, the flies. You never even touched the root cause, that stinky bag of garbage. How often are we just spraying the flies in our own lives?
Okay, so how does this apply to us, to our own lives, our relationships, our search for happiness? This is where it gets really interesting and really personal.
Let's take relationships, for example. It is so easy to fall into the trap of thinking, oh, if only my partner would change. They're the problem. So maybe you end the relationship, you find someone new, but then what happens? The same old issues start creeping back in. See what's happening there? You're just swapping out one set of flies for another because the garbage is still there.
And this brings us to a really powerful realization. What if the problem isn't the other person? What if the real problem, the root cause, is actually within us? Maybe it's our own lack of tolerance, our own impatience, our struggle to be more loving.
That is the garbage. And that's where the real work has to begin, with ourselves.
So I'd like to leave you with this question to really think about. Take an honest look at the challenges in your own life, the things that cause you frustration or pain. Are you just busy spraying the flies? Or are you willing to look for the garbage, the root of the problems in your life? Where does it truly lie?
If any of this resonated with you today and you found it helpful, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you won't miss our next sharing. Thanks so much for being here.